Kororia ki te atua e runga rawa, e mongorongo ki te mata o te whenua. Whakaro pai ki tangata katoa. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Haere mai, haere mai, haere mai. The Prime Minister, Right Honourable Jacinda Ardern, Ministers, Michael Wood, our host for today, MP for Mount Roscoe. Other MPs, High Commissioners, Ambassadors, the wider diplomatic corps, representatives of government agencies, noting our strategic partners, business leaders, community leaders, organizations, and all of you. And last but not least, all my colleagues from the Multicultural Councils around the country who are here today. Welcome. I'm not known to read my speech. I often speak from what I think at that moment. But such a special occasion warrants that I do note a few things quite accurately. So forgive me for reading my speech. Today we are here to celebrate and mark this year's Race Relations Day. This year, the theme is our people, our cultures, our languages. March 21st is observed annually to mark the United Nations International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. And as part of the Diversity Action Program launched by the Human Rights Commission in 2004, the Federation and its member councils offered to celebrate this day around the country. And to date, 15 years on, we still do it with great pride and pleasure. The date was March 21, 1960, when the police opened fire and killed 69 people at a peaceful demonstration against apartheid in Sharpeville, South Africa. And now, close to that day on March 15th, in 2019, we had our own dark day when 50 people were massacred in Christchurch. Again, guided by racial values and Islamophobia. This makes Race Relations Day celebration and the core work of Multicultural New Zealand more relevant than before. Ironically, in February, when we met Michael Wood, we said, we have done our toddler years, we have done our teenage years, we are 30 years old. Please tell us whether we are still relevant or not. One of the first lessons that we learned was always to think whether we were relevant or not. And now, we owe our relevance to a large extent for the awakening that was achieved. And I'd like to acknowledge that the 50 lives that were lost were not in vain. They sleep as we awaken. And they have, in a way, gifted a lovely future to all of us. And that is the gift of their life. And let us treasure that. And it becomes more relevant for us to accept diversity and equality in this country. For the past 30 years, Multicultural New Zealand, with its ever-growing family of 23 councils and 38 newcomers network up to about 61 touch points around the country, we have led a collective voice of cutting-edge immigration, settlement, integration policies, intercultural awareness, ethnic communities development, empowerment, and intervention programs. As the only pan-ethnic organization in this country, if not the senior most, the Multicultural New Zealand remains a volunteer network that will always work with the government of the day. We see our work and role as being a responsible community partner to agencies. We mark our achievements by the current Immigration New Zealand settlement strategy was first mooted at our hui in 1999 in Auckland. We requested for a Ministry of Ethnic Affairs at that time. At that time, the government of the day gave us one desk, but today it has turned into a $6 million agency. In our briefing to the incoming minister in 2017, we advised that a standalone ministry for ethnic communities with clout is still relevant, now especially after the 15th of March. Through our member, the Multicultural Council of Christchurch, and with the collaboration with the City Council and the Mayor, Leanne Dalziel, we have developed the first multicultural strategy for a community in this country. We have successfully impacted on police recruitment strategy through the joint work that we have done with Deputy Commissioner Wole Hamaha and his team. We continue to advocate for a treaty-based multicultural framework as we first mooted in 2006. Huarahi Ho. Our hikoi, through a community-based, for a community-based initiative jointly with Orongamai Marae in Upper Hutt towards establishing a treaty-based multicultural society, started in 2010 and led us to where we are today. Huarahi Ho is a community-led initiative founded on the strong belief that cultural contact between migrants and the receiving communities, tangata whenua, will smooth the pathway to successful settlement. This has now gained momentum around the country and is now, to some extent, considered a world-class community-based initiative for supporting successful settlement. All of us need to be very proud of this. We are all part of that. Migrants and refugees who have chosen to call New Zealand home have long expressed a strong interest in learning about Māori and the foundation from which New Zealand has grown as a nation. Iwi and Multicultural New Zealand have responded in partnership by offering opportunities for migrants and refugees to experience marae-based living, learning from tangata whenua about the history of their marae, and understanding as newcomers where we fit in the Treaty of Waitangi. This leads to the second reason why we are here today: to launch, in collaboration with the diplomatic and consular missions in New Zealand, Multicultural New Zealand's International Volunteer Network is launched founded on the principles of universal diplomacy. This initiative is the first cab of the rank under the Huarahi Ho dream. This volunteer effort will bring about multicultural networks throughout the country, serving as channels of connectivity and communications for the diplomatic corps and its member missions at the local level. It seeks to foster and promote engagement between the diplomatic corps and host communities through accredited community ambassadors. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge His Excellency Jesus Embagari Domingo, the ambassador from the Philippines, and our Vice President, Ravina Namale, for choosing to offer this initiative to be grown on the Huarahi Ho platform. Thank you. Today, we will be signing a framework of cooperation with the diplomatic and consular missions in New Zealand. This will lead us to setting up of a working group that will lead the development of the program, and all of you are welcome to be part of, to come on board. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to New Zealand personally for giving me and my family a home. Such a lovely country. But but it's a dubious honor, really, that we can come together in such a lovely way after the massacre in Christchurch. But I envision a country where this kind of things never happens again, ever again. If we put our hands together, I think it can happen, and it will happen. Aroha nui, kia kaha, you are us, ngā mihi nui. Thank you. Now it's my turn to welcome the Prime Minister. Thank you for joining us today. We acknowledge your leadership over the past event in March, appreciate your compassion and heartfelt responses. I've seen you in the backs of autos in India. I've seen your picture on the towers of Dubai. Right? You make us proud. Welcome, Prime Minister.